So yeah, Brad, of course, opponent switch coming out from this fight. Which matchup did you like better, Henry Briones or this Yuri Alcantara fight?
I think as a matchup wise, I like Henry Briones because he's more of a boxer and he's orthodox and that sort of stuff. But as for an opponent, I think Yuri Alcantara is a bigger scout, bigger opponent, tougher opponent. So they both have the pros and cons. At the end of the day, to be honest, I'm in the fight game where I don't really mind who I fight. So I didn't really mind. Not now, obviously I'm fighting Yuri Alcantara, but even when I got given Yuri Alcantara, in the back of my mind I'm like, whoop, this could change again, so this is a crazy sport and fights always change all the time, but I'm always excited just to fight.
Yeah, I imagine you've been through it all at this point, and even just going back to your last fight, how much pressure did that win take off your shoulders? Because I think people were maybe trying to push you out the door a little bit going into that fight, and of course you got the win. How did that change things for you?
It's changed things massively. It took a lot of pressure on me because I'm not in this sport just to make up the numbers, and it's not about just competing at this level. Because I'll always be able to compete at this level and just get in there and fight. I'm not going to forget how to fight. But it's about winning at this level as well. And I had a lot of. It didn't matter who I was fighting that night. It could have been Dominic Cruz, the number one in the world, or it could have been the postman down the street. The pressures on me to win that fight was massively, and with all the media leading up to that fight, but kind of planting that seed as is this you done now, you're retiring. It kind of got into me, and I'm like, oh my god, maybe they're right, maybe I can't do this anymore, and it did really put a lot of pressure onto me when I'm fighting. But also now going into this fight, I'm gonna have pressure. I always put pressure on myself throughout my career fighting. It's just a different kind of formula what I'm using. This time now I'm still got a lot of pressure on me. I want to go out there and perform for my fans and also for my son, my wife and my son, and put food on the table and provide money for my family. I'm a working class guy in a sport, and that's how I see myself. So I want to go out there and win so I earn good money.
Yeah, and so is it just about that at this point, at this age and everything, at this stage of your career, about providing for your family and just making post-fighting as comfortable as possible? Or do you look at, see the fights like, the John Linekers, the Cody Garbrandts of the world, all these guys, because I feel like the bantamweight division is very hot right now. A lot of people are talking about it. Do you see those guys and be like, oh yeah, I can beat these young guys that are coming up in the sport? Like, how do you kind of look at where you are right now in the sport?
Definitely, obviously, I think I could beat anyone in the world on my day. I throw as hard as anyone in that weight class, and I could wrestle, and I've been around a long time. I have a great gas tank, so I could beat anyone in the world on my day. So at the moment, I just got to look at my opponent in front of me, and if I win, I go through one door. If I lose, I go through another door. So I need to make sure I stay focused and concentrate on what's in front of me. And then if I win, then I'll look at Lineker, Garbrand, they're matches that I've seen them growing up, and they're matches I always liked. I'm like, I'll fight them. I think they'll be great fights. But for me, I need to make sure I win to make those fights even possibility. And yeah, at the moment now, like I say, since I've had a son, I do think about, providing more for my family. But it doesn't mean that I don't think about trying to get a title shot. Obviously, for me, you look at Bisping was a great inspiration. He, in a way, took a title shot on late notice, won. Now he's a champion. Me and him have kind of similar careers for our life, where we've had quite a few title eliminator kind of fights and fallen over the same hurdle. So for me, that's always could be there. It's a crazy sport. Things always can change. So at the moment, it is my job. But at the moment, I'm not seeing anyone within the weight class that I'm, oh my god, I don't want to fight that guy, if that makes sense.
Of course, and then just focusing obviously the task at hand. What do you think about Yuri? He's had his up and down UFC run, but I don't think he's gained as much traction with the fans as someone like yourself, just for being a fighter that really stands out entertainment wise. So what challenges does he bring to you? Maybe if someone that people are kind of maybe overlooking a little bit, I don't really know.
I think Yuri is a very, very dangerous opponent that doesn't get enough credit that he deserves. And maybe don't have the fan base that someone like myself has, is because I'm not saying it, but I'm a bit more maybe charismatic, and also I speak English. So it's a lot easier for me to relate to most of the fans who watch the UFC, where Yuri Alcantara is Brazilian, he don't speak good English, so it's hard for him to relate to other fans apart from the Brazilian fans, But I'm sure if you went back to Brazil and he walked around, he would get a lot of love, you know. But yeah, he's a very, very dangerous opponent. He's a high-level black belt, very dangerous striking, and a southpaw. You know, so he poses a lot of threats for me. But I love a challenge, and I think Saturday night, I have more ways of winning in the fight, and I think I'm dangerous throughout the fight, where he tends to be dangerous in the first round and then tends to fade.